What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to the Mom Mix, the podcast where motherhood meets mixtapes, memories, and real talk. I'm your host, Sabrina, and this one's got some weight. We're diving into something that's been pressing on my heart, the feeling of not knowing who you are anymore and not even knowing where you want to be. Let me start by saying I'm not talking about in a runaway and start over type of way, but in a quiet, middle of the day moment where you ask yourself, is this it? Is this still me? This week's episode is inspired by Donell Jones' classic, Where I Want to Be. Today we're talking about the layered identity shifts that come with motherhood, growing older, and questioning your place in the world, even when everything looks fine on paper. Heck, even looking perfect. Let's get into it, okay? So let's start here. I already told you guys this story in the introduction, okay? When I first became a mom at 26, I thought I had done the work. I thought I knew myself. I was grown, educated. I had a career path, a plan. I didn't expect her to be lost. Her, I ain't talking about my baby. I'm talking about me. I didn't expect to lose her, me in the process. But I am here. Here I am. 39, perimenopausal, raising a teenager and a toddler, with my husband, of course, and feeling like I'm meeting myself for the first time all over again. We don't talk enough about how people change every 7 to 10 years. Every 7 to 10 years, a woman can change and reinvent herself, but a mom can reinvent herself, how she parents. I've done that. How she works, how she loves, how she defines success, and what freedom looks like. And that's not failure, that's growth. These changes, it's biological, it's emotional, it's hormonal. So when you mix that natural shift with bringing a new life into this world and raising a new life, your entire identity starts bending and sometimes breaking. And significant life events, yes, having a baby is a significant life event, but I'm going back 5 years, like the pandemic, okay? And becoming a parent again later in life, or career burnout, act as identity disruptors. They speed up the reevaluation process, and you're no longer just reacting, you're reflecting on your life. And now I find myself questioning everything. Was I meant to be here in this place? Was I meant to be in this career? Did I make the right decisions? What if I had chased my dreams harder back then? What if I picked another career path? What if I focused more on me, my education, my passions? But then the guilt creeps in because I love my children. I love my family. So why am I thinking about anything like this? And how do I reconcile that deep internal yearning to figure out who I am again without feeling like I'm abandoning them? Okay, so let's pause for a second on these Donell Jones lyrics. And I'm only going to talk about like one line, okay? And I don't want anybody to freak out, but it's just like I'm going to talk about the bigger concept and the bigger meaning of this. So like it's not like a meaning like literal. But he says, I'd rather leave than to cheat. If she gives me some time, I can be the man she needs. Now, yes, I know the song technically is about romantic relationships, but think about it deeper. It's about being honest enough to say, I can't show up fully unless I figure out who I really am. And right now, I don't know. I mean, in the song, it was annoying. It was very annoying. But when you think about it that way, it hits different when you're a mom. Because unlike Donell, we don't just get to up and leave and find ourselves. I mean, some moms do, but the majority, we don't. We still got to pack those lunches. We still got to handle things around the house. We still have to contribute, go to work, keep the lights on. I don't know, like we can't do that. But if I could just have a moment to breathe, to dream, to imagine, would I finally feel like I am where I want to be? Or have I been told for so long that being here is enough, that I stopped reaching for something realer? I don't know the answer to that yet. And we're going to talk about all of this, but I just want to find the chance to find out. I want to have the chance to find out. But as we talk about, this stuff more in this conversation, you're going to be like, I didn't even know Sabrina was going that way. But I just want a chance to find out, even for a moment, Okay. I don't want to escape. I'm just letting you guys know that. I just want to remember myself. I don't want to escape nobody. I love my family. I love everybody. Okay? All right. So we're going to jump onto the mixtape memory for this week. Okay? So this week's mixtape memory, I'm going to take you guys back all the way to COVID 2020. That was a time. Lockdown. Okay? My daughter was still in elementary school. I thought it would be a beautiful season. I could work from home. She could learn virtually, and we'd bond. I was so wrong. My husband was at work. His work never stopped. So it was just me and her against the world. I was so ill-equipped mentally and emotionally. I had no idea how to support her through this unexpected shift. And she had no idea how to express her anxiety. We clashed often, and what started off as a dream turned into years of tension and social anxiety for the both of us. I mean, this little baby, she was still writing with fat pencils. She didn't even know how to type on a computer. It was a lot. Looking back at it, I would have done it differently. I probably would have taken time off, slowed down. I don't know if that would have made a difference. Maybe that it would have helped some way, maybe acclimating her and I a little bit to this new normal. But like so many moms, I just kept going and kept pushing, and it cost us something. Like I was like, oh, there's no need for me to take off. We're here. Work can go on. But that's the thing about identity. You don't even realize how much you're losing until something breaks. And I'm so sorry that happened. But we're going through it. We're, coming back from it. But that was a time. And I never want to go back to that again. Ever. Okay. Let's flip it. Side A, side B. So, side A, going back to my daughter. When I first had her, I only had 8 weeks of maternity leave. That's it. 8 weeks to recover physically, mentally, and emotionally. And then it was right back to work. Still exhausted, still trying to smile. The crazy thing is, actually, I interviewed for a new job, I think, when I was 34 weeks pregnant, got the job, told them I was pregnant when I was, about to have her. They still wanted me. And I was like, yep, okay. I put myself in a box where I say, yep, I can come back in 8 weeks. But I probably shouldn't have did that because I painted myself into a corner, and I probably needed more time to heal and do all the things. I mean, financially, we probably couldn't even have done it past 9 weeks, honestly. But, I mean, we were young and dumb then. But it was a different time. Side B, fast forward to my second baby. And this time I had 6 months, 6 full months to just be. Okay. I healed. I bonded. I did all of the things. And let me tell you that time changed everything. I wasn't rushing. I was present. I feel like my home had peace. I was at peace. And it was something like I longed for with my daughter, and I was younger and I was like, oh, I don't need that. I need to be back at work. I need to be getting this bag. No, at this point, I'm like, I got my leave. I got this. I got the money. It's fine. And I just, it's just a different aspect of being older. So I asked myself, was that a glimpse of where I want to be? Was that what life could feel like if we weren't always sprinting? Okay. Don't fight me, but are moms supposed to be home with the kids? It's just a question. Are kids more regulated emotionally when the mother is home full time, not working full time, doing other things? She can work and do things, but like focused and make sure the kids are taken care of first and then handle other work. That is some of the kinds of questions that came up while I was just here, just me and my baby by myself while I was on maternity leave, cuddling him for 6 months, looking at his cute little face, snuggling, taking contact naps, having the love hormone, smelling the top of his head, all of the things that moms are supposed to do with their babies. I don't think I'm all the way right by what I'm saying, but I don't think I'm all the way wrong either. I'm not scared to say it out loud because I'm sure that some moms have felt that deep feeling inside of them, but feeling like they'll be judged to say it out loud is one thing, because we're supposed to feel like we don't need to depend on, a patriarchal society to, take care of us, and women can take care of it all. But like, can our husbands take care of it? Can we step into this soft life where we can be allowed to be the weaker vessel? Can we? I'm sorry if I'm rubbing some people the wrong way, but when people say soft life, that's also what comes to my mind, But historically, socially, and emotionally, mothers have always been positioned as the nucleus of the home. How can they be the nucleus of the home if all of these other things are happening? And how are they supposed to be the nucleus of everything else happening? It's just a lot, But supposed to implies that there is only one right way. And if I'm being honest, that just doesn't reflect the current world that we live in, the real world, okay? And I'm going to be honest, yes, all the hormones were floating around in my body. They're probably still floating around somewhere. I heard that it takes like years for them to physically leave. But there's no one-size-fits-all version of motherhood. Some moms thrive being home full time. Others thrive working outside the home. And many of us live somewhere in the tension between the two. I think I'm that in between the two. Maybe someday I can find myself there. Moms aren't saying we can't have it all. We're saying maybe all shouldn't be the goal. How about that? Maybe peace, presence, and alignment matter more. Maybe having a soft life is really where I want to be. After all of that going to college, and after all of that, interviewing and trying to advance my career, maybe at the end of the day, I just want to live a soft life. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. But, all right, let's jump into the mom bars. Let's keep it 100, guys. If you're questioning everything right now, your career, your purpose, your schedule, it's okay. You're not lost. You're just evolving. Growth feels like confusion at first. Don't ignore the questions. That's where the answers live. So jump into it. Okay, ladies? If you have uncomfortable questions, ask them yourself. Write them down. Explore them. All right. So where do I want to be? I don't know. Truth is, I'm still figuring that out. I'm sure you guys are shocked by the turn that I took of living a soft life. But one thing I know is wherever that is, I want it to feel like peace, like purpose, like alignment. And I want that for you too. Mamas, if this episode hit home for you, share it with a mama who's questioning her own path. Leave a review, tag me on Instagram. Let's talk about it, because this conversation, it's too real to keep to ourselves. All right, mamas. Until next time. Bye. Keep mixing, keep healing, and keep showing up, even if you don't quite know where you're going yet. And that's okay.